Hello, my name is Matt Boldry. I'm an intern at Professional Labor Support, and I will be a junior at Xavier University studying sports management. My job this summer is working with the sales and marketing team.
I'm Sam Ellis. I'm also a summer intern here at Professional Labor Support. I will also be going into my junior year of college. I go to Anderson University. This summer, I am more towards the financial side of things, working as a financial intern.
So today we are going to show you how to use the new VeriClock app. This app is going to replace your paper time cards and be a new tool for you guys to use as a timesheet.
So first off, just why switch to the mobile app instead of having a paper copy? Just quite simply, it's easier to use. It takes a lot less time to get on the app and just clock in than it would to, at the end of the week, fill out an entire paper copy or fill out paper copy as you go. It's a lot easier to just clock in and clock out in the app. Secondly, it's easier to share information from the office to the pros to the supervisor. It's just when it's all online and through data, it's easier to just kind of share amongst everyone using it. And then lastly, the VeriClock app allows you to change your time and location after clocking in and out. So if you fill something in wrong on the app, you're able to go back and change it at the end of the day. If something happens where you clock in at the wrong time or something like that, you're able to change it and fix your problems if there are any issues.
So the first thing is going to be to actually downloading the VeriClock app onto your phone. So for most of you, you're going to just go onto your App Store or your Google Play Store, whatever device you have, and you're going to find the VeriClock app. It should be a little white square looking like a clock and an orange check mark in the middle. And once you have this and you have the app downloaded onto your phone, you're going to log in with your username and password given to you by PLS. Once you have logged in, you are going to be prompted by a question asking if you would like to receive notifications. To allow the app to work properly, you are going to have to select yes. Along with after that, it will ask you if it can use your location. And once again, you're going to have to select allow using my location while using app, or the app will not run properly as it's a geo-filtered location to being able to clock in and out. So you'll have to click allow using my location while using the app. And from here, you should be ready to go and logged into the new app. So once again, here's just a picture of what the VeriClock app should look like. So once logged in, we are going to show you today how to clock in, clock out, manage your times, and getting a supervisor sign off. So the first thing you're going to do is clock in. So how to do this is your first step is you're going to click on the three little white lines at the top left-hand corner of the screen, and you're going to select the clock in, clock out tab. Once doing so, it's going to prompt you to a screen that looks like this. And your next step is you're going to have to select the tab called Job. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to select your job that you are currently working on. So if you do not see your job listed on here, don't panic, it's okay. But what you need to do is you need to immediately call Erica and have her input your job for you. You don't want to sign into a job that you are either not working on or is a previous job just to clock in. You need to make sure that it's your job site. And if not, just give Erica a phone call and we can add that in for you to be able to clock in. So once selecting your job, it's going to prompt the clock in screen back up for you. And from here, you can go ahead and hit the green button to clock in. And from here, this will have you clocked in, and at the top of the screen here, and it's going to change to a clock out tab, you're going to see this number. And this number throughout the day is going to increase by the minutes and hours that you work. So by the end of the day, you should see the total hours and minutes that you have worked in that day. And to be able to clock out, you're going to have to select a lunch break. So this app requires that you select both a lunch break and whether you were injured or not. So for the lunch break, if you were to not have taken a lunch, there is an option to select 0 minutes, and that will need to be chosen, or however long you took, along with a simple yes or no if you were injured in that day. The per diem, mileage, and reports are all sort of day-to-day things that you can enter if need be, but not mandatory for every clocking in and clocking out experience. So what this is under the mileage tab. What you're going to do is when you clock in, when you first get to a job site, is how many miles it took you to get to the job site. Only the first time is the day that you will be putting these in. All other days, you will not be putting the mileage in. Along with the last day that you leave, while clocking out, you will put the mileage it took you to get back. The report tab for clocking in and clocking out can also be used on a day-to-day basis. And what this report tab does is while clocking in or clocking out, if you had any troubles whatsoever of using the app or whatever need be, if you didn't work your hours that you were supposed to work, if you're clocking in too late, too early, along with clocking out too early or too late, this is where you could put that report and sort of just give a debriefing of why your hours may be skewed. So once you have the lunch break and the injury tab both selected and filled out, you can hit the clock out button, and from here, it will take you to this screen of success, and it will say you have worked however long. So in this case, 7 hours and 10 minutes, and just double check, make sure that looks all good. And once you hit okay, it'll add it into your events tab.
So now we're going to be looking at if you are to do it from a laptop or even just Safari or any sort of internet access on your phone. So when using the website, this is what it's going to look like when you pull up the VeriClock website. And if you look, you can kind of see at the top right, it's hidden behind there, but there will be a little button that says login. And if you click on that, it's going to pull up the login page. And from here, you're just going to put in your email or employee ID and password, and then you're going to hit the continue button right here. And from here, it's going to pull up this screen, your clock in page. And to start off, you're going to click right here at select job. And similar to the app, it's going to pull up all the jobs or jobs in there. And for you, it should just have the job you're working on. You're going to click that. And once again, if it is not there, call Erica. She can add that in for you. You do not want to click on the job or on a random job that you are not on. And then under it, once again, if needed, there's the clock in report. You can add anything needed if you're running late, running early, any issues logging in, anything like that you would want to fill in there. This is not a required field, just where your job is located is the only required field for clocking in. So once you have both of those in, you're going to hit clock in. And at the top of your page, it should look like this. So you're just going to want to double check, make sure the date is right, the time is right, and the job is correct. And then from there, if you are to scroll down, it's going to pull up the clocking out page. And this is what it's going to look like. So to start again, there's the clock out report. If you have anything else you would like to add when clocking out, you fill that in there. And to start, the first required field is lunch break. So you're going to click right there, and it's going to pull up 0 to 60 minutes, and you can fill in as needed. So if you took a 0-minute lunch, you're going to click 0, or 60 minutes. And from there, you're going to click if you were injured or not today. It's going to look like this. You have those options. The lunch break and injury reports are once again required fields. And below that is the per diem and mileage. For mileage, you're going to fill it in when clocking out, whenever you leave the job site. That's not going to be an everyday event. It's just going to be the last time when you were leaving the job site. And once you have clocked out, it's going to pull up all this information again. Once again, just review it, make sure everything looks correct. And if it all looks correct, you're good to go. But if you have any issues.
Yes, if you have any issues, a great tool along with this VeriClock app is that it allows you to manage times along with adding events. So if something were to happen where you couldn't clock in or out, such as your job not being there, or it cost you, 30 minutes, an hour of your time trying to figure this out, but you were at work, no worries. You always have the accessibility to go back in and manage those events. So first I'll be showing you how to do this in the app. So once you're on the VeriClock app, if you just select those three little white lines, they'll be in the top left-hand corner. It'll pull over this drag menu for you. And if you click on the events tab right here, this is where you'll be able to see all of the times that you have worked or had a clock in, clock out experience. And so it's going to pull up the current week that you are working, and it's going to show all the times you've clocked in from a Monday through Sunday standpoint from the week that you are on. You can also use these two arrows to go back and forward of times that you have put events in, but you will only be able to change times of the week that you are currently on. So first step is when you are managing one of your times or correcting them, you're going to select the time or event that you were looking to change. So in this case, if you click on this Monday, June 22nd job that they worked 15 minutes for, you can click on that, and it's going to prompt this screen here of the edit event page. So once on this page, you're going to have full accessibility to change both clocking in and clocking out dates and time, along with other things such as your lunch break and if you were injured or not. So say you accidentally put in that you took a 0-minute lunch, but you actually took a 15-minute lunch, or you accidentally clocked out 30 minutes late or 30 minutes early, you can always go back in here and change that. And all of those are accessible right there. And once you do finish this, if you just hit the save button up here in the top right, it'll ask you to confirm your adjustments, and from there it'll update and save your new event. Now in the instance that you may have just completely forgotten to or were unable to create an event, there is an option seen at the top right corner. I'll go back here real quick. This top right corner right here, there's a little plus button on the events tab. If you click on that, it'll prompt you to this add event screen. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is toggle off the enter hours only button. It's right here. It'll be green. I'm going to make sure that turn it off and make it gray. As if not, you will only be able to change the hours that you worked for the current day that you're changing the event, which is not what you want. So once you toggle that off, then just as adjusting the event, you can change the clock in time along with date, along with the clocking out time and date. You'll also have the job. You'll need to select the job that you were working on, along with the clock out details such as your lunch break, the injury, and then throw a report in there, the quantity of miles you drove if it was coming on or leaving the job site at the last day. And once you have all of this up to date of where you need it to be, you just go ahead and hit the save button in the top right-hand corner, and it will create that event for you. So now another concern is, how are you going to actually get your time signed off on now that we are going away from the paper copies? Well, luckily for you and the supervisors and for us, this is actually a way more efficient way to get your signature. So it's all you're going to do is once you're done for the week, you're going to go back onto your VeriClock app, and you're going to go to that three little white lines in the top left-hand corner, and you are going to find the third-party sign-off page. So once clicking on this tab, it'll take you to this page right here where you will be able to see the screen for the third-party sign-off, which is your supervisor signing off on your hours. So from here, you're going to want to click on the time period little scroll wheel, and you're going to want to scroll to get to the current week of whatever week you're working. That's the week that you're looking to get signed off on. And from there, you will select the job site that you are working on. So once selecting your pay period and the job location, it should show you a little preview of what you're doing. Just double check, make sure that looks all right. And your final thing is you're going to click the little blue box selecting request approvals. Once hitting this will directly send an email to your supervisor which will pop up here in their email, looking like the left part of my screen here, which just sort of shows them your name, the employee name, that you are working for professional labor support, and this is your VeriClock time and attendance or timesheet. And from here, they'll be able to just see a little rundown of the day you worked and then times and just hours and then a total amounts of hours. So from here, they're going to click here to continue, and it's going to prompt this screen on the right for them. And this is a little more in detailed view for them to see, any reports on there or your lunch breaks, just things like that. And from here is all they're going to do is where it says approve timesheet is they're going to just with their finger give a little signature on their phone, and they're going to hit the green button approve. Now, just because we are going to a digital form, it is still highly recommended that when submitting this request, that you still do it in front of your supervisor. And so maybe that could be a conversation where when you're about to send it to him, you're right in front of him like, hello, I'm sending my time card to you. You should be receiving an email, and just kind of stand there as he checks to make sure he got the email, or at least before you leave that day, just kind of confirm with him that they at least received your email, including your time card, your virtual time card. So once again, after signature then, sort of your proof of validation that it did get signed off is once going back on to this third-party sign-off, once you've submitted a request, it's going to show up here in your current active requests, and it's going to be the little time sheet and location that you had sent them, and it's going to say down here third-party pending. So when it's in their email, this is what you will be able to see on your application. And once submitted, it'll actually disappear and there will be nothing. It'll say no records found here. And just if you want to go back and double check, make sure it just didn't get deleted or whatever, that it actually got signed off on. If you punch in the 2 search dates of the week that you worked right under the search dates right here, it's going to pop up the entries that you've sent in for request. And instead of saying pending, it should say completed. And this is to you a form of verification that your time card got signed off and it was received by your supervisor and signed off and sent to PLS.
So finally, hopefully you have with you or will be receiving soon, we made a little handout to kind of help remind you, basically going back through everything that we went through in this presentation. We'll be going back through clocking in, clocking out, correcting times, and how to get the supervisor sign off. It'll just be a little paper copy with, as you can see, pictures and then step-by-step instructions. If you forget anything from this presentation or have any more questions, you can quickly look at that. And then along with that, if you have any more questions or just can't remember this presentation, the handout's not helping at all, on the PLS YouTube page, we actually uploaded videos where we step-by-step walk through on our phones of how to clock in, clock out, correct times, and submit it to the supervisor. Those are all separate videos, so whichever one you need help with, you can click on and watch that. They're real quick little videos, just 1 to 4 minutes, so those can help you if you're having lots of trouble. You can step-by-step walk through with us of how to get that completed.
Along with both the handouts, the presentation today, and the videos, we understand that this is change, and change can sometimes be difficult for others. So we do want to also offer a more personal approach. If the videos just aren't clicking with you, you're still having struggles day in and day out, Sam and myself will also be available for a phone call. So feel free to give us a phone call, and you'll have an attached number that you'll be given how to contact us either through a phone call or 24-hour support through our emails. So you'll be given both of those. So if you have any questions down the road, the videos, the PowerPoint, or the handout can't answer, we're always more than welcome to help you and get you back on track or whatever that may be. So with that, are there any questions about the presentation today or maybe VeriClock itself? Thank you.